Good morning, mixtape scholars. I'm recording this on January the 26th, 2026, our snow day. It is a snow day. The university is closed today. And as I'm looking out at my schedule, I've decided to do a couple of video drops for our major creative assignments. In this short video, I'm going to talk about our final creative mixtape, the annotated mixtape, the final mixtape for American Mixtape 2026. To begin with, of course, a mixtape for our purposes is not a burned CD or a cassette. It is most likely a playlist on the streaming service of your choice. So wherever you are most comfortable and familiar with making playlists, you can go ahead and you can make your playlist there. I'm just going to go over a few of the key components and give a little bit of encouragement. You are absolutely expected, and I need you to go ahead and read over the assignment sheet that I've also sent out regarding this project. To begin, you need to come up with a theme or a topic. Now, at many junctures in the course this semester, I'll just throw out theme ideas in class as we go. Also, Rob Sheffield also has a section in his book, Love is a Mixtape, where he drops a whole bunch of different kinds of possible themes. The one thing I do want to keep in mind, though, is that I want you to create a new playlist. I want you to do some song hunting and song exploring. You might decide on a very traditional mixtape theme, such as the driving mix or the workout tape or the worship tape or the tape for your significant other. That's fine, or the breakup tape. But what I don't want you to do is use an already made playlist, and we don't also want to just drop a gigantic shuffle mix on your audience for this project. We want this to be a very closely planned and curated playlist. So first of all, you want to pick a theme and start finding those songs that fit your theme. And now you can create the draft of the playlist immediately in your streaming service. So give it a name, Mr. Smith Final. If you have a title already, give it the title. American Mixtape Final, something of this nature. And then you create a work in progress on your streaming service of choice, and you start listening to this thing and getting really familiar with it. Because one of the things about a mixtape is you want the songs to connect in a certain way, and you want them to flow together. When I'm making a new mixtape, which I make them at least weekly for my radio program, I always listen ahead and try to get the vibe and the feeling of how well these songs fit together. We do want to limit this between a total of 15 and 30 songs. Less than 15 is too few, more than 30 is too many, and that will kind of limit us and fix our choices there. And then also, this is going to be approximately the length of an actual mixtape. A mixtape usually was a 90-minute or 120-minute experience, and so the total listening time for your mixtape shouldn't be more than 2 hours long, and it certainly can be a little bit less. A 90-minute 80 or 90-minute is a sweet spot for this. And you're going to be listening over time and refining and revising this. You'll be dropping some out that you decide don't really fit, and you'll be adding some as you discover new music, because once you start dreaming this thing, it will live in your head and you'll be hearing them in your ear. Even when you're not listening to the streamer, you'll be just imagining songs that belong, or a friend will play a song and you're like, oh my gosh, what is that? Who is that artist? Let me drop this in here and see if it fits. I do have to set this limit here right now. In my department, we have an American-based course, a United States-based course, a British-based course, and a global course. And so for our purposes, I really do need to be strict about this. I want United States-based artists. They do not have to be United States-born artists, but they have to be building their career. They have to live in the United States and have to be working primarily in an American context. And the American context should figure in something, and I don't mean American like, songs about the flag or songs about football or songs about war per se. I'm not talking about, a particularly that kind of a playlist. That's kind of predictable. Students have done that in the past. We don't need to go back to that traditionalist version, but we do want the United States culture in its more nuanced and negotiated terms to be a part of your thinking about this playlist. And just the nuts and bolts as I bring this short video to a close. Every project needs a title. That's an original title that you've created for it. It needs at least 300 words of reflective introduction. And you have to have a printed playlist with short notes on each of the songs and why you chose them. Some students like to include lyrics or just a nod, really, to that song. But you can also do more of a meditation or a reflection on that song as well. The typed and written portions are usually included in the creative art portion. I have a separate video where I just show off some of the creative projects that have already been included for this project in the past. And if you ever want to come by Henderson Hall 002A, down in the dungeon in the far north side of Henderson Hall in the little office bank that would be close to the foreign language cafe and close to the university center, closest to the UC, there I've got samples of countless numbers that you can look at. And that's where I also have my hand crank Victrola, where we can play a 78. The best projects have gone the very niche, very specific on the theme, and the best projects have been crazy bold in their original format. If you come up with some crazy idea for format, don't think it's too crazy. The best projects that I've loved have been the most out there in terms of the format. I started with a little booklet or a fanzine idea as my format because that's what I used to make back in the day and I still make. And fanzines are just a little pamphlet, a little booklet. But the students have taken this to the next level, extreme creativity. And it's all because of the previous students who have come before you in this class that we have such a bold format, a forward-thinking format ideal here. You can go all crazy on your format. This is a big part of this class. It's worth 100 points. It's due in class on April 29th, 2026, a physical format only for you. And again, my DMs, if you will, that would be my tech email at ASMITH, is open for questions. You can always stay come before or stay after class to ask me questions about that. My noon class, before class is better. My 10 a.m. class, after class is better, just in terms of schedule, all of our schedules. But emails are always open. Office hours are open. I love to do consultations on these. But it is due physically formed on April 29th. And I want you to start now. I know it's only January when I'm making this video. I literally want you to start working on this right now because I want it to be something you work on it a little bit at a time and you dream it up all semester long. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I'm sorry that we're having to cancel some class this week. It's still undetermined how many snow days we have. And I'm just going to put this video out there so you have something to chew on our snow day. Thank you all so much for listening. See you in class when it's safe to be there.